Hey guys, welcome back to Nutrition Science. So, as you can see, today's topic we have are body types and BMI, and we're still in our metabolism unit. This is just one of the sections in here. So, I think we kind of have an idea of what a body type is and BMI, and I'm sure some of you have heard of BMI, and you can kind of tell me, you can shout it out. Very good. All right, let's get over to that. So let's kind of get into this topic a little. So there's three basic body types. There's one which is called an endomorph, there's a mesomorph, and there is an ectomorph, right? And I'm sure like when you look at people, you can tell that there are different body types and that we're not all the same. And then keeping in mind that we are a mixture of our parents. So if your parents were two different body types, you are most probably going to have a mixture of traits of those body types. All right. Other stuff. So each of these body types has specific characteristics that respond best to different types of workouts and diets, right? We're not all created equally. The days of one-size-fits-all fitness and diet plans are long gone, right? And that's kind of all those infomercials that we see on TV, like, oh, everybody should be training this way, everybody should be eating this way, right? That obviously it doesn't work for everybody. And you guys know that. You're young, but still you see this, right? Some of you guys are fighting that fight. You just look at food and you're worried about gaining unwanted pounds. And then some of you eat the whole McDonald's menu and you're like, oh, look, I can't even gain a pound. So it's not the same. And some of us naturally have more muscle or more fat than others. Just because of how we were born. And as you get older, right, and your Kevlar coating kind of wears off a little bit, this will impact you even a little bit more. So it also says the best way to maximize your body's potential is to customize your fitness and diet plan to your body type. And that's kind of where this whole thing is leading us. So let's move on. So endomorphs. What is an endomorph? So soft, round, curvy, like a pear shape, bigger on the bottom than on the top. Little muscle definition. Your head actually may appear larger, shorter arms, long torso. And again, it doesn't mean you have to have every one of these traits, but if it's sounding familiar to you. Endomorphs can gain muscle easily, but they do have trouble losing weight, especially fat. So keep those traits in mind. I tried to shoot some pictures up here of people maybe you've seen before that do have body types that match description of an endomorph. All right, so moving on. We also have a mesomorph. So the mesomorph, this is a medium to large frame. Their shoulders are wider than their hips, right? Like that tapered look into your waist. This is like that athletic kind of look. Well-defined muscle definition, long neck, small waist, long arms and legs. Again, like I said, I'm describing this athlete to you. Mesomorphs gain muscle easily and don't have a problem losing weight or fat. So I threw some people up here, right, that you may or may not know. When we see ads with people that lost all this weight and gained muscle, when we see those things, those people are usually mesomorphs. If the ad even has some truth to it. And reason being that they lose fat more easily. They gain muscle more easily. So sometimes you may see a little disclaimer somewhere that says, results are not typical or something like that. But mesomorph is the person you want in your ad if you're displaying real results. And what I mean by that is a whole topic for another day. But they will see, mesomorphs will see differences, the greatest differences in the shortest amount of times. So leaves us with one more, and that is the ectomorph. So an ectomorph is petite, very thin. Now you could be tall, then you wouldn't be petite, but you'd still be thin. Shoulders and hips are the same, so kind of like a straight line. Right, so there's my slender, tall, narrow chest, right? Not the big athletic mesomorph that we just talked about. An ectomorph would have a difficult time putting on muscle or maintaining their weight. And what I mean by maintaining weight is even keeping weight on the body, where it's like, oh my gosh, I missed a meal. Now I'm going to lose weight and I'll never gain it back. So that's our ectomorph, right? And I try to shoot some pictures up here of some ectomorphs. So we got the endomorph, kind of bigger on the bottom than on top. They can gain muscle more easily, but have trouble losing fat. The mesomorph, that's our athletic body. And then the ectomorph, the thin person. So let's kind of take it from here. So then we have something which is called BMI. BMI is body mass index. So I actually have a web quest for you to do on this, so I don't want to give too much of it away. But this is a measurement which takes into account your weight and your height. And that's it. There's nothing else to this. So two people, different heights, same weight, they're going to have the same BMI. So this all it takes into it. There's not really a whole bunch of scientific background into this. So if your BMI is below what's considered normal, that could be a health problem. And if your BMI is above what's considered to be normal, healthy, that can be a health issue as well. All right. So to calculate your BMI, you have this formula here. You're going to take your body weight in pounds, and that is divided by your height in inches squared. Don't forget to square it, right? So for mine, I'm 6 feet tall, right? Or let's just take the example. So George weighs 220 pounds, so that's his weight in pounds. He's 6'3", so we need to convert that. So 6 feet into inches plus the additional 3 inches, right? 6'3" is 75 inches, and that number is going to have to be squared, and that's how we would figure out BMI, right? There's a constant in there, which is 703, right? This number right here. It's just a constant. Doesn't mean anything. It's the same for men and women. And that's how you would get your number. So one more time, though. Weight in pounds over height in inches squared. And then it's times 703. So moving on. So here's a chart. And don't take this to heart because there's so many problems with BMI. So I'm hoping you please get on that web quest so you see some of those things. So if your BMI comes out under 18.5, you're considered to be underweight. Then normal would be in the 18.5 to 24.9 range. And then as you get over 24.9, you hit overweight, obese, or extreme obesity. And I'm going to tell you, you look at an athlete, a bodybuilder, they are not coming up in the normal range, and they probably won't come up in the overweight range. They're going to be in that upper overweight to maybe obese. So like I said, you take everything with a grain of salt. Everybody's familiar with this measurement, but it's really not accurate in showing you how healthy or not you are. So those are the notes. The other part to this assignment today, I'm not asking you to submit a copy of your notes to the reflection. We are going to ask for a reflection, but there's a web quest which has a couple of body type questions on it, and then a link will be provided to you to look up a little bit of the history of BMI to kind of explain a little bit more detail what I was saying. But like I said, I didn't want to just give everything away. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Be safe. Have a good day.